Good afternoon. My name is Sean Michael Crane. I'm here with the man, Dr. J himself, co-founders of Unstoppable 365. And today we're going to be talking about peptides. What are they? Who should take them? How do they help you? Are they safe? Where do I get them? Those are questions we get asked a lot, Dr. J, when it comes to peptides. People think they're steroids or that they're this new novel supplement that's just come around. So let's start to maybe debunk some of the myths by first getting clear on what is a peptide.
Yeah. Well, and this is, of course, part two of the series we're working on of what we're taking to get jacked and live forever, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I should have opened that in the intro. This is a part of a mini series that Dr. J and I are doing. What I'm personally taking based on Dr. J's recommendation, my doctor, as well as one of my team members in Unstoppable 365, but he's helping me and guiding me to live to 200 years old. That's the goal. I want to be able to run a marathon when I'm a century years old. I want to be able to see my great grandkids running on the beach and chasing them around. I want to live forever. So we're covering everything that I've done to this point to start reversing my age and feel better than ever.
Yep.
So,
all right. So then, back to your question. So, because this is a great point. What is a peptide? All right. So a peptide is, we're trying to not be too science classy here. So a peptide is a little chain of amino acids in your body that signals things to happen. And what people don't realize is that right now, if you are watching this, there's 50,000 peptides, different peptides working in your body, and there's millions and billions of them working right now. And so what peptides therapies are is we can take those peptides or pieces of those peptides or other peptides and stimulate those same processes. And so they're doing all types of things in your body, but in a way that's a much more natural based rather than using a harsh, strong chemical trying to force a reaction. We're using peptides to stimulate a natural process or reverse a natural process or enhance a process.
okay, so two things you said that everyone should listen to and pay attention to. Number one, peptides are just a string of amino acids put together in a certain sequence, just like proteins. And secondly, you have those peptides inside of your body in vast numbers right now working to help you optimize your health. So
Right.
for anybody who thinks peptides are steroids or who gets scared or just curious when they hear the word peptide, you need to know that you already have peptides in your body right now working their magic to help you to be healthy, fit, probably with a lot of things. Dr. J, why don't we segue into the next question that viewers often have? What do peptides actually do for you?
Yeah. So peptides, like I said, make processes go. And in fact, your brain is one of the biggest peptide making pharmacies in the world. So you think a thought and your brain is going to signal peptide production and make things happen through your body. And then those signals, those peptides get sent throughout the body to make stuff happen. And so that's amazing. And all of our cells do that. Because really what happens is when something happens in a cell, it signals the DNA. Sorry, we're getting a little bit too science classy here, but signals the DNA, and DNA signals RNA sequencing, which then signals a peptide production. And so almost everything that's happening is happening in our body based on peptide signaling and peptide production.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So what you're saying is peptides are very important to just your overall health and your sustain to be able to live and sustain on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Yeah, and they do lots of things. And so, like for instance, insulin is, people think, oh, insulin is a hormone that controls your metabolism, controls your carb burning versus fat burning, but it's actually, insulin is a peptide, and so, or it's a piece of a peptide, and that causes signaling. So these peptides are doing so many things in the body. And in fact, insulin was the very first peptide therapy that existed, and so peptide therapy is not new. Insulin was developed as a therapy in the 1940s and 1950s. And so that's when peptide therapy started therapeutically. And so it's been around for a long time.
So is it safe to say peptides work as messengers in the cells?
And lots of other things. They that's just part of what they do. They're definitely messengers, but they make things happen. And
Yeah.
so that's
Like a catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Now, if somebody's watching this and they're curious about taking peptides, should just anybody take peptides? Who should, who shouldn't, and what for?
Yeah. So we're coming into a time right now where peptide therapy is a super trendy thing, right? There's lots of, even doctors, there's lots of influencers that they see people posting about peptides, and then start recommending them. Like literally, I know doctors who are recommending and prescribing peptides because they watch someone's social media account, and that's where they learn to prescribe peptides, which is crazy, because there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And learning from a social media account how to prescribe tesamorelin is not the right way to do it, if you're wondering. But so I've been, for instance, with us, we've been prescribing these peptides for 10 years or longer in some cases, that people don't even realize have been around that long. And so going to a doctor who knows what they're doing and knows what's going on inside your body, and then knows how peptides can then influence what's going on inside your body, is what you need to do. Because without that, you're randomly guessing. You aren't going to know if you're getting the right stuff. You're not going to know if you're getting the right stuff for you, and you're going to get very mixed results, if any results at all, and hopefully not negative results.
Yeah, and that brings up 2 points. The importance of getting your blood work done, which we do at Unstoppable 365. Dr. J personally reviews my labs, and you're the one who's recommended peptides for me. Prior to that, I was just taking peptides that I heard were good for you. Like you mentioned, not a lot. I started taking BPC 157 because I heard everyone saying how great it was for recovery. It would help your body to recover faster. And at the time, I had all these beat up body parts. I had aches and pains in my joints and just a lot of issues. So I was ordering a Wolverine. It was called Wolverine spray online, and they would send it to me in the mail. And I think I'd spray it in my nostril like 2 or 3 times a day. When I told you that, you're like, man, do not take this stuff, because number one, you don't know, what's in that spray bottle, how much of the actual peptides in there. And secondly, like, they could also be adding other stuff into the bottle that could be harmful for you. I know a lot of people that do that. They order peptides offline, not knowing if they need any or what's going on in their body because they haven't done the blood work. If that's you, you should definitely do the blood work with Dr. J, and you could reach out to me on Facebook, Sean Michael Crane, send me a DM, or go to unstoppable365.com to learn how to do that. But second of all, do not just order stuff offline like I was doing, because like you said, that could be very harmful for you long term.
Right. Yeah, because they've actually done studies on this. Because like I said, peptide therapy is not new. It's been around for a long time. They've been doing lots of studies on this. And there's companies every year, they'll go and order from these websites online. They'll order hundreds of different samples of all the different things. And 80 to 85% of those samples come back and they're contaminated with something that's toxic for your body. Or they don't even have the peptide in there that you think you're going to get. Or it's in very small amounts and it's degraded and not functioning. And so I'm sure there's sometimes where you might get a good batch and have something. And I think, Sean, we talked about this too. Like the first time you took that peptide from whatever random website or wherever it was coming from China, who knows where, like you felt like you got some pretty good results, but then those results weren't continuous or they weren't regular throughout that process. And the next one was different and different types of things. And so the peptides that we fit into our programs for our clients come from reliable sources that are third-party tested, that are guaranteeing accuracy and efficacy of their products. And we know are practicing the good standards, that whether they're coming from an actual compounding pharmacy or another good source within the United States, because some of, most peptides that are available through compounding pharmacy, but there's a few that we like to use therapeutically that are not quite available yet through compounding pharmacy, but we still get from a really reliable source that is still meeting the standards of a pharmacy. They're just not an actual pharmacy for different reasons, but
yeah. And that company where I was ordering peptides before I started working with you, they actually one day just shut down. Like their website shut down. I knew people that were ordering through them and they got burned. Like they had paid money and they never got their shipment, which is common for companies that are kind of working in that gray area and they're not supposed to be selling peptides in the first place. But let's jump right into what I'm actually taking based on your recommendation. This is the first peptide I ever started taking, and you were an advocate of this for me to help heal my leaky gut. And what happened was, when I started taking this after about 3 months, really, I noticed a profound impact on my joints and all those previous injuries that I had. This is BPC 157. If you're wondering what this one is, it's a pill form. So I take 2 per day in the morning. But I used to have so much aches and pains in my shoulders. And I'm telling you, man, like it would radiate up into my neck or in my back, and I couldn't really sleep well. And it was constant. There wasn't a week that I went in 2024 without being in pain. And if it wasn't my shoulders, it was my right knee because I'm missing cartilage and I have a torn meniscus, or some lower back thing going on. And today, this is the healthiest and best I've ever felt. I mean, since I was a little kid, right? But I've been training in the gym, doing triathlons, Ironman competitions, ultra marathons for 13 years. So I've put my body through it, right? And I can accredit a lot of the relief I feel in pain due to this peptide, BPC 157. Now, I have cut out gluten from my diet based on your recommendation because you said that was going to lead to a lot of inflammation, aches, and pains. And I've tightened up my diet, a little bit. I was eating pretty clean when you and I met. But man, let's talk about the significance and impact of BPC 157 for those who are curious.
Yeah, I do. I also have my own right here on my desk too. So, because it's really good. So, because this BPC 157 capsules is pretty close to, I would recommend for every single person to take it. There's a few small exceptions for different periods of time that we might have someone not take it, but it is so good. So, what BPC stands for? It stands for Body Protection Compound. Which is a pretty cool name. I think they should go off of that better than the BPC 157 body protection compound.
I didn't know that. I'm going to start using that.
So, which is why, they have the Wolverine stacks and different things that they use that with, because it does help your body heal. And so that BPC peptide exists in your body naturally as part of your stomach acid. And so that's why it works so good in capsule form, because that's where the natural production of it will happen. When you have leaky gut, when you have, overaging, and after you've had poor diet beating up on your digestive system for a long time, your natural production just decreases of that, which is why it's so good. But yeah, so it's good for helping with digestive health, with leaky gut healing, and then just general overall inflammation, helping protect your body, protect your joints, protect your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, protecting your brain from inflammation. And the good thing about the BPC is, and this is maybe a topic we can discuss another time, but there's a lot of people talking, you take a anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen or Advil for pain, or to lower inflammation, but that's actually cuts off the healing process. And there's lots of negatives that come along with that. The BPC supports the natural inflammatory process and helps your body to actually heal and get better. So that's really good product. Like I said, I've had clients now taking it for over a decade, every day, and they notice a big profound difference, like you talked about. For you, they're noticing that in their lives too. So it's a really good one. It's been around a long time, and definitely is a good essential key point of building off of health for digestive health, especially. So.
Yeah, before I started taking BPC 157, Body Protection Compound. I love that name, by the way. But before I was taking it daily, I was starting to take a lot of ibuprofen because I was in so much pain. I didn't want to be in pain, and I tried to just grit my teeth and get through it. But when you can't sleep or when you're irritable around your kids and you know that ibuprofen is going to temporarily take the pain away, it becomes a habit. But then I got to the point where the ibuprofen wasn't really doing much. And honestly, Dr. J, I was like starting to feel miserable sometimes. I'm a pretty positive guy, but when you're in pain, it affects you a lot. And I swear, man, since I've been taking this peptide, it's changed my life. It's been almost a year now. I take 2 capsules every morning, and I'm so grateful because not only is it helping relieve the pain, but it's something that's healthy. It's helping me to get healthier. It's not ruining my gut lining or poisoning me like all those other pain relievers do. So next one I want to bring up.
Before we go on to the next one, let's talk a little more about BPC, because there is also injectable forms.
Yeah.
And so the injectable forms and the capsule forms, they have kind of a different purpose. And like you mentioned, nasal sprays as well. So I don't know, there might be a compounding pharmacy right now that's making it a nasal spray. I don't know of one, or the ones that I use are not doing it that way. Capsule form is the best way to take it for general health. If you are targeting a specific joint, say you have a shoulder injury, you can get an injectable BPC and inject in the area of the shoulder to help heal a specific joint faster. And doing both together, the capsules and the injections to heal an injury is a great idea. But make sure you're getting that from a compounding pharmacy or equivalent level to do that. If you're able to buy that without talking to a doctor, you're not getting it from a place that is meeting standards. So.
That's really good advice. So let's reiterate that. If you're getting the injectable BPC 157 without doctor's recommendation, it might not be good quality. You might not know what you're injecting in your body. You probably shouldn't do it.
Right. And that's, a good standard for all peptides.
Yeah, and let's talk about injecting things into your body because I think people assume if they see someone using a needle that it's either a drug that they shouldn't be putting in their body or it's some type of steroid. Now, this is tesamorelin. I don't know if you could see the label.
Mhm.
I've been on this for probably 6 to 8 months. So I want to talk to you about, and this is injectable. So I inject it into kind of like right near your belly button. You pinch some of that skin, some of that, what is that, subcutaneous body fat, and
Yep.
you do an injection before bed. So let's talk about what this does, who, if anybody's interested in taking it, why they should, and kind of break down what tesamorelin is as far as the peptide goes.
Right. Yeah. So tesamorelin is in the class of my favorite group of peptides. So it's one of a group of peptides, and those peptides work to optimize natural growth hormone release. And so it's really good next step. Usually with clients, we'll kind of get their hormones optimized, their nutrition optimized, and testosterone optimized, and then the tesamorelin or a growth hormone peptide is a really good next step. Um, and so what's great about this is it stimulates, like I said, it stimulates your natural growth hormone release, and it makes your hypothalamus and your pituitary, that's in the middle of your brain, middle of your head, that's responsible for controlling those hormones. It makes them act younger and produce more like you did when you were younger, right? Because Sean, you're almost as old as I am. My birthday's coming up soon, and I think my wife would tell me I'm turning 42. Um, but if I can get my pituitary gland to release growth hormone like I did when I was a teenager, I can still get those responses. And that's where something like this tesamorelin comes into play, because it can get your body acting, or at least on the growth hormone level, acting like you did when you were younger. And that's beneficial for healing, for especially from workouts, different things. So it's really good, amazing stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, and I think that helps with a number of things: recovery, strength in the gym, your ability to burn muscle and build muscle and burn body fat.
yep.
Uh, because you hear stories of people like actually injecting growth hormone into their bodies. So how is the tesamorelin different than people who are doing HGH?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question, because it does work very differently, and it does provide those same benefits of doing like actual HGH. Um, and so actual, because that growth hormone, whether it's injected or whether it stimulates your natural production, does help, like you said, with workout recovery, building muscle, burning fat, boosting libido, mental clarity, focus. All those benefits come with it, which is why it's such a good, it's an anti-aging molecule. It's really important. So the peptide is different because it works with your body's natural processes. Your body naturally likes to release growth hormone at night while you're sleeping. And so while you're sleeping, you release little small pulses of growth hormone. Just that's the only time during the day. So a hard workout sometimes can stimulate a little bit of growth hormone release.
What about the
That's a,
sauna? Sorry to interrupt you, but I saw
and yeah, there's a few little things like that. And even so, like say you do like a 3-day fast, on the third day, like that night, you'll release more growth hormone naturally than you will on the first days. So there's a few little things to boost that up. Um, but when you inject growth hormone, it's like your gas pedals pressed down all the time. And so it's really about an ebb and flow kind of thing. Our body really likes to, heal and recover and rebuild. And then it's like you're working out. And so you don't go and lift weights for 24 hours a day. You need the rest and recovery time. When you have that growth hormone all the time at high levels in your body, it's like you're working out 24/7. It's just like go, 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 go all the time, when you need to get that balance built in, is really what it is. And the peptides work better in that, because they do build in that natural balance, that circadian rhythm, that how the body wants to function. And then when we do it that way, there's so many less side effects, and so many, all the potential negatives that come with growth hormone are going away. So
very insightful, very insightful. So we're kind of getting a category, it sounds like, of performance peptides. I don't know if that's what you'd call them,
yeah.
but this next one, I mean, in combination with the tesamorelin, seems to do just that. It's called Sloop. I always mispronounce it. Slup sounds cooler. Sloop. This is a newer
So
peptide, right? I mean, it's
yeah.
somewhat newer. Can you explain to anybody watching this, what is Sloop and what does it do?
Yeah, so the full name for Sloop is the SLUPP 332. And this is a newer peptide. You're right. It's been around. It hasn't been around for as long as some of the others. And that's one of the great things about being in the world of peptide therapy is there's new things that are coming out, and new ways that we're finding out medicine. Like I told you at the beginning. Right now, you have 50,000 plus peptides working in your body. And so what science is doing is they're looking and figuring out, okay, when you do something, what peptide is being activated. And so, like, for instance, like when you exercise, what peptides are being activated that provide the benefits of exercise? And that's where they discovered Sloop, where they discovered this peptide is they figured out that when you exercise, your body naturally stimulates more of this peptide, and it causes benefits in your mitochondria, metabolism boosting, all those things. And so then they're like, okay, if we can take that peptide and give it to you just by itself, does it do some of the same things? And it does. So what Sloop does is it works in your mitochondria to stimulate similar type of responses in your body to what exercise would do. And so it hits a special receptor in your mitochondria that makes your body respond like it was exercising, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like, some people say, oh, it's exercise in a pill, which is close, but not really. But when you do exercise and take it, it does enhance the benefits of exercise and enhance the functioning of your mitochondria, stimulates mitochondrial health. Lots of benefits that come with it, with that too. So of course we got a little too science classy there, but yeah.
No, that's really cool to know. People would think that's a magic pill, like, oh, I could just take this and my body's going to respond like I worked out, even though I didn't. With the Sloop, I typically take it after I work out with my breakfast in the morning. Same with the BPC 157. Is that a good recommended time, or would you recommend it taking it maybe at night when I do the testimonial?
So yeah, no, the Sloop taking it anytime is good because it will, right around a workout is best. There are some studies that show taking it right before the workout might be a little bit more beneficial. Anyway,
Okay.
so but you're taking it regularly all the time is good too. And versus like the tesamorelin, works best at night before bed because that's when we want it in the bloodstream and in your body for it to stimulate that natural production at night while you're sleeping. So
Yeah.
versus the Sloop is working all day long. So
Okay. That's good to know. I guess a good question to ask, and people ask this all the time, are peptides dangerous? Is there a reason why we shouldn't take peptides? Like, is there anything that, any misinformation out there or stuff that we should clear up right now?
yeah, and really that's where we're talking about going to a provider or doctor who one knows you, but then two knows what that peptide is going to do, because those peptides do lots of things. So, like for instance, that Sloop peptide, it stimulates your body to especially burn carbs, much faster than other things, and it speeds up your metabolism. And so, I've had clients that take it and they tell me that they just feel so hungry all the time, and that's because it's working, because it's turning on your cells, metabolism is turning on your cells. And so being able to have someone to explain and understand what's going on inside that body for you is really important, so that you can know that that's actually a proper response for Sloop. When some people might be like, oh, this is a weight loss peptide because it's going to help you feel like you're exercising, they're not going to realize that, oh no, it's working. It's more of like an exercise enhancer, definitely not an exercise replacer. And this is how your body's going to feel. This is how your body's going to respond. And so that you can stay on the track. Because some people, they might take that and they're like, oh, I feel too hungry on the Sloop, and they might stop taking it. And then they miss out on all those benefits, when really it's just the body needs to adjust. The metabolism is going to adjust, and it's going to be just fine within 3 to 4 weeks.
So that's good info there. I mean, it kind of comes back to, if you're going to do anything in life, do it the right way. A lot of people try to cut corners, and they're all looking for the magic pill, the quick fix. And it's like, when I started looking into blood work and supplementation at this level, I wanted to do everything in a methodical fashion, meaning I want you to review my blood work. I want to be able to see all my biomarkers so I know exactly what's going on with my health. And then my supplementation, meaning peptides, daily vitamins, anything that I'm taking, I want it to be based on my results, not some cookie cutter program. And, that's what we offer at Unstoppable 365. That's why working with you has been such a game changer for our clients, because they can get that custom protocol that they follow that's not like everybody else in the program. They're all different. So if there's somebody listening to this right now, you can drop a comment. Me and Dr. J will both see it. We can respond. Or you can go to unstoppable365.com. But if you're interested in blood work, supplementation, peptides, fitness and nutrition programs, that's what we offer at Unstoppable 365. we'd be happy to have a conversation with you and get you set up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one other thing too, like you brought up there without saying it specifically, you have to be doing the foundational stuff first. If you think a peptide is going to do the work for you and you can go eat whatever crap garbage diet you want, that's not how it is. You need to get your diet dialed in. You need to get your supplements dialed in. You need to get your hormones dialed in. All those things are so much more important to your foundational health than a fancy peptide. Because I know why people that come to me and they're on $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of peptide protocols per month, and yet they're going and eating at McDonald's and eating garbage. And they're like, I don't know why these peptides aren't working for me. Like, well, because your cells are starving, and so your cells are starving, and you go and ramp up your cells, and your cells are going to be even more starving and more malnourished, and you're going to feel even worse. And so that's where there's a set methodical process, and whether or not you realize it, Sean, for you, but like we did it right for you, and so that's why you get results. We do that right for our clients so that they can get the results that they want. So.
Yeah, and I tell everyone that it's a very methodical process because it's not like you just put people on a bunch of stuff, like it's a step-by-step process where, okay, you got your nutrition and exercise down. That's your foundation. You're hydrating every day. Now we can look at, your nutrient absorption rates. We covered that last week, like daily supplements. Today we talked about peptides. Next week, we'll talk about hormones and what role they play in our next episode. So you got to do it the right way, because if you don't, it's not going to work for you. And that's the benefit of having a coach and a team of experts to guide you and help you optimize your health. Is it's not guesswork, it's methodical, it's systematic, and we're very intentional. So thank you for Dr. J. If anybody has any questions, you can reach out to us, unstoppable365.com, or check us out on social media. If you type in Dr. J or Dr. Jerem Ipson on Facebook or Instagram, and Sean Crane or Sean Michael Crane on both platforms, you can send us messages. We'll be happy to respond.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that too, just to finish up, we're building more, like on my podcast, the Supreme Entrepreneur Podcast, we're doing individual episodes on each specific peptide more and more. So if you have questions on any one specifically, you can message me on Instagram or whatever, and then we can get you the link to that episode if it's already been recorded, or we can add it to the list to do the next, coming up soon for those specifics. If you want to know more about, MK677 or tesamorelin or sermorelin or like I said, there's hundreds of therapeutic peptides that are out there, and it's definitely the wild, wild west. So we're here to help get your questions answered and direct you on the right path.
Yeah, and go to the Superhuman Entrepreneur Podcast. That's Dr. J's podcast.
Yep.
Go subscribe. Make sure you're checking out all the episodes, and drop some comments on there, and he'll look at them. And if there's something you want to learn about, he'll be happy to share.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Sean.